Objectives. Use bar models to represent word problems. Solve simple word problems involving addition and subtraction using bar models. What is bar modeling? Bar modeling is a strategy which uses models to solve word problems. Adding bars. There are two bars, blue color bar and yellow color bar. The length of blue color bar we can name as part 1. The length of yellow color bar we can name as part 2. Now we are going to add these two bars together. First we'll draw blue color bar, that is part 1. Then we'll draw yellow color bar next to blue color bar, that is part 2. Now we are going to make whole. Whole is part 1 and part 2. Whole. Whole equal part 1 plus part 2. This is the word sentence. Whole equal part 1 plus part 2. Now we'll add value to these bars. Blue color bar's value is 10 and yellow color bar's value is 4. Now we'll add these two bars together. First draw the blue color bar. That is value is 10. Then draw the yellow color bar next to blue color bar. Its value is 4. Now we want to add these two bars together. That means whole. Whole. Whole means adding two bars together. Whole equal part 1 10 plus part 2 4. 10 plus 4 equal 14. 10 plus 4 equal 14. Whole is 14. Now I am going to do comparison bars. There are two bars. Pink color bar is part 1. Green color bar is part 2. Now I am going to compare these two bars. First we draw part 1 bar. This is part 1. Next we'll draw part 2 under part 1. The green color bar is part 2. When we compare these two bars, we can see a difference between part 1 and part 2. This gap is called difference. How to find the difference between part 1 and part 2? We have to minus part 2 from part 1. We'll write the sum. Difference equal part 1 minus part 2. Now we'll add values to the comparison bars. First, We'll take pink color bar. That is value is 12. Next, green color bar. Its value is 5. Now, I'm going to compare these two bars. Now, we'll compare these two bars with its value. This is pink color bar. Its value is 12. Next, green color bar. Its value is 5. Now, we'll compare these two bars. We can see a gap between pink color bar and green color bar. This gap called difference. This is the difference between pink color bar and green color bar. To find the difference between these two bars, we have to minus from 12 to 5. Difference equal 12 minus 5. 12 minus 5 equal 7. The answer is 7. Now we'll count equal parts. This is part A and this is part 2. Can you see these two parts are equal, same shape, same length. This is part 3. Part 3 also same like part 1 and part 2. There's another one. It's part 4. Now we can see all these parts are equal parts. Now we'll add these 4 parts and we'll count the whole. Equal parts. You can see there are 4 bars. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. Now we'll see how to count all together. All together is whole. Whole equal part 1 plus part 2 plus part 3 plus part 4. We have to add all 4 parts together. Now we'll find the whole of the equal parts. Part 1, part 2 and part 3 keep near part 2. Part 4 keep near part 3. Part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. All these parts are equal parts. So find the whole, we have to add these bars together. Part 1 add, part 2 add, part 3 add, part 4. That is the whole. Whole equal part 1 plus part 2 plus part 3 plus part 4. All these equal parts make the whole. Now we'll add values to the equal parts. This is value 5. This bar's value also number 5. This is another bar that also same like earlier bars. It values also 5. There's another bar. It values also 5. All these bars are equal and having same value 5, 5, 5, 5. All these bars having same value. Now we find the whole of these values. Now we'll add equal parts all together. This is 1 bar. Its value is 5. We'll keep a same size of bar near this bar. Its value also 5. Another bar, same size, same value, it's 5. Last one also same value, same size, its value also 5. Now we want to find what is the whole of this bar. Whole. We have to add all these 4 bars all together to make the whole. Whole equal 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. All these bars are equal. The answer is 20. 20. 4 equal parts are there. All parts are equal and value is 5. So answer is 20. Addition using bar models. There are 20 boys and 10 girls in the class. How many children are there in the class? For that, we need to draw 2 bars separately. One for boys and one for girls. First, I will draw a bar for boys. It's in blue color. Then, I will draw a bar for girls next to boys. When you compare 20 and 10 numbers, we know 10 is less than 20. So, girls' bar also need to shorter than boys. Now, we will count the whole or total of these 2 bars to find how many children there are in the class. Need to add these 2 bars together. 20 plus 10. 20 plus 10 equal 30. Finally, we can say there are 30 children in the class.